Hello class. This is a video on how to divide fractions. I'm going to say dividing fractions the easy way. It's a how-to guide by O. That's me. So you can see up here, if we had something like 3/8 divided by 6/7. So dividing fractions. But first, what I want you to think about is something that we already know, which is multiplying fractions. And there's a reason that I say that, because multiplying fractions is very important when we divide fractions. So if we remember how to multiply fractions, which we've learned before, I hope you remember that we multiply across the top, which is our numerator, and then multiply across the bottom, which is our denominator. So we look up top here. All right, up top on our numerator, we have 4 times 7. So 4 times 7, that's what? I think I heard somebody say 28. You're correct. And then multiply across the bottom, our denominator, 5 times 6. 5 times 6, okay, that's 30. Now we could reduce that to lowest terms, which we're not going to worry about right now, but just know that this isn't the final version of the fraction. It should be reduced to lowest terms, but we're not going to worry about that right now. We're just going to take a look at the procedure for dividing fractions. And like I said, multiplying fractions is important to be able to do that. So I'm going to go to my next screen, which looks like this. It says dividing fractions is easy if you remember 2 key words. And the 2 key words are flip it. So in other words, flip it. Just like I'm flipping these 2 guys around, flip it. We're going to flip one of the fractions. So with that being said, if we did have 3/8 divided by 6/7, just like we had here to open up the video, 3/8 divided by 6/7, and hopefully you'll notice that the 6 and the 7 are color-coded. So when we're dividing fractions, 3/8 divided by 6/7, we're going to flip it. We're going to flip it. So in other words, the green and the red are going to flip. So the 6 is going to go down where the 7 was, and the 7's going to come up where the 6 was, and then it becomes a multiplication problem. So after we do that, when we take that 6 and flip it to the bottom, and take that 7 and flip it to the top, okay, so the 7 flips to the top, the 6 goes to the bottom. Okay, then it becomes a multiplication problem. So it's like keep, change, flip. Keep, change, flip. Keep the first fraction, change the division to multiplication, and flip the last fraction. So flip. And then you would just multiply across, just like you did. We did before. Okay, so we would say 3 times 7. 3 times 7 is what? Is 21. And then multiplying across the bottom, 8 times 6. Okay, that's 48. 21 over 48. Okay, so it's that simple. Multiplying fractions is just that simple. I should say dividing fractions is just that simple. You keep the first fraction, you change the division to multiplication, then you flip the second fraction, and then you multiply across. And there you go, 21/48. Okay, and that, I wonder if that can be reduced. It probably can. It can be reduced, and if we were going to reduce that, our final answer would be 7/16. Although we're not going to worry about that right now. I'm just more concerned with you knowing the procedure now. We'll get into how to reduce to lowest terms in a little bit. But right now, I just want you to worry about that. So don't even worry about this lowest terms. But I want you to know that fractions can be reduced to lowest terms oftentimes. So that's a video on dividing fractions. Keep, change, flip. Keep, change, flip. And then multiply. All right, so hopefully this was helpful, and I will talk to you soon.